girl. No. I haven't seen this thing in a while.
I haven't really said this to anyone, but this will be the new release of that information, I guess. But
All right, guys, before we get into the action, in case you haven't heard, we're giving away TRC's 1100 horsepower Evo, the world's baddest street Evo. Anything you purchase on thatracingchannel.com automatically gets you entered for a chance to win. This is one of our favorite designs for the giveaway. This one's been sold out twice now. We have it back in stock, the 4G63, hurting feelings since 1989. For the TRC Work Truck fans, we have the first TRC Work Truck shirt. Let's get to work. 1700 horsepower, TRC Work Truck, and another wildly popular design here. We have I'd Rather Be Racing. This is like the 90s nostalgia, HKS style. And as everybody knows, that Evo is known as a legendary street racing machine. So of course we had to have our street racing division TRC shirt. Guys, hit thatracingchannel.com. We have 10 times entries going on right now. Anything you purchase on the site automatically gets you entered for a chance to win. Let's get into the video. All right, guys, we're about to go for a spin with Joel Grannas and his 13B RX7. This thing's got a massive turbo. We're gonna learn a little bit about it here. This thing sounds insane. Of course, it has his T56 swap in it. I can't wait to experience this. All right, dude, so what do we got here? That's a massive turbo.
7691, it's the same turbo I used to run on my white Supra. I mean, it made 1400 on my white car, but we have it way turned down on this thing.
That's a 13B?
Yeah, it's a 13B. Semi-purple port, that's why it's got so much brap to it. Yeah, it makes like 750, around that.
Hell yeah, dude. And this thing's got your T56 kit in it?
Yeah, the GR700A kit that I make with the bell housing and the T56 Magnum.
I've always been in these things with running the factory transmission. Everybody always has to baby them.
Yep.
So I'm so excited for this experience.
Yeah, we'll got to slam through the gears and I'll show you how it runs.
That is a big old turbo. I think turbo is just about as big as the rotary engine.
Pretty much.
Gotta love it. Listen to that thing, man. Jeez. This thing sounds rowdy.
Yeah, it's pretty obnoxious. Definitely my most obnoxious car that I own.
I don't know if the audio here, the mic's gonna do it justice, but
I hope.
This thing is incredibly loud.
Yeah, I took videos of like with a GoPro and it does not do it justice at all.
So one of the biggest things, whenever we featured rotaries and they were running factory transmission, they were never able to really slam gears.
Yep.
And
same thing, this car, third gear, I broke it twice. Now I don't have to worry about that anymore.
something about a T56, it just feels right. Now you're putting them in everything.
Yeah, pretty much.
Dude, this thing is so much fun. I'm not gonna lie, it caught me off guard.
Yeah. This thing probably weighs 2850. So
wow.
now with us in it, you know, probably 3250.
No, right, but dude, no, these things are pretty light, and honestly, I'm so used to riding in a rotary, and because of like you're if you're not power shifting it, and these turbos fall out of boost, it just becomes very lazy, and you know, it's still fun. The sounds are awesome, but when you're able to like slam the gear and keep it in power, that's the experience.
Yep. I'll go up a little bit. That's I never
go up a little bit. Go up a little bit.
I'm not gonna go up that much.
As he hits all the dealing. What is this? That's all tech, or what is this on?
Yeah, this is Haltech. So it was at that level. That was what we were at, and then I went up to. That's probably like another 50.
This thing sounds so good.
So we'll do like a second and then third gear pull, because that really proves the transmission. Uh-oh.
Dang.
Lost the seal, probably. I knew it was too good to be true. This car's been actually pretty reliable for a while.
I think we sent her a little hard, man.
Yeah, probably a little too much. Like I said, I never run that much boost through it on the street, so I don't know exactly what happened, but this happened before, and it was one of the freeze plugs actually came out of the block, and then water mixed with the oil made a mess. So I don't know if it's that or if it actually hurt something in the engine itself, but it sucks.
I'm sorry, dude.
Yeah, it ran for like 6 months, that like 750 wheels. So
This thing was riding for sure.
yeah,
When you turned that boost up, I was like, full send mode, man.
Yeah, it goes.
The trans did good.
Yeah, the trans held up.
The trans did good.
I guess I don't have to worry about that anymore.
So maybe now we go get the 2J one and finish our ride.
That sounds good.
I think the 2J one will probably be pretty solid.
Yeah, I don't think it will do that.
Sad day for the Rotaries, but we'll get some smiles with the 2J car. All right, guys, so things didn't go so well with the 13B car, but it was a blast when we were in it. So now we're going for a ride the 2J car.
Yep, old reliable. It's like 12 years on this setup, 650, actually 750 on 85, and like probably 580 on pump gas, and I just drive the shit out of it, so.
So this thing, same trans T56.
Yeah, yep, T56 Magnum F in this thing. Been in there almost as long as the engine. This is the second kit I built was for this car.
So this is like OG stuff.
Oh yeah.
How long's this thing been together?
I've had this is the oldest car I own. Like as far as like what I've owned, the longest car I've had this car 20 years. It's been together 12. So I think 12.
Good old 2J.
Yeah. I mean, I'm telling you, it's like crazy. Like I just get in it and drive it, but I don't drive it that often. But,
Sure.
But you know, I put like 1,000 miles on it a year. So
When you drive it, it gets driven hard.
yeah, it's never driven softly. Yeah.
Well, I guess what's the basic setup? Is it a 3-liter? What size turbo?
Yeah, it's a 3-liter, just like cheap rod, like Eagle rod, factory crank, 64, 66, like Gen 1 from way back. Like
Wow.
you know, 12. It's the same turbo, 12 years ago. Mike Nunez intake manifold. I think it's got an eBay intercooler on it.
Oh, dude,
so it's like a cheap build.
Very basic.
Yeah, very basic build. It went I ran 960 at 158 in it.
Holy
shifting
moly.
gears. And I ran like that day at that track. I only took it to the track once, but I ran like a 960, a 970, and 980.
Looks like it's all Joel Grannas. 190 on the tree.
So it's like consistent.
That's a mile an hour, dude.
Yeah.
Almost 160 mile an hour
Yeah.
traffic speed.
Oh,
This
yeah.
thing boogies.
Oh yeah, like I said, it was like 750 wheel, and it weighs like 28. So with me in it, like 3,000, 3,050.
That's sick. All right,
Yeah.
well, let's go for a spin.
All right, sounds good. I love these cars.
Yeah, these cars are super badass, man. Deja vu.
Yeah, deja vu.
Round 2.
Yeah, hopefully not.
Hopefully not. The good old 2J will treat us right,
Yes,
for
hopefully.
sure.
The thing was getting out,
The thing
right?
was getting it, man. I will say, like, when it was working, it was working.
Yeah,
And then it wasn't.
The Rotary car is definitely a fun car. It's like the one I would choose to, like if I was coming over here to take a ride in a car to get do like a stress reliever blast, that would be the car I would take. So.
Oh yeah, nothing but smiles for sure.
The noises this car makes, dude. This car, by far, my favorite, like 2J sounding like street car.
Dude, the Rotary was beautiful. Like,
Yeah.
this is.
It's like more refined, I guess.
I mean, I'm just. The fans know we're 2J fans.
Yeah.
I'd like to build a Rotary one day, honestly. I think probably like a 20B or something. You know.
Yes. Yeah.
26B obviously is like a dream, but they're super expensive.
Yeah, and then what if you hurt that thing? How
exactly.
bad would you feel after you hurt one of those things?
100%.
But yeah, this is my car. This is I bought this car was a fire car, so it has a salvage title. I'll never sell it anyway, so it doesn't matter. But it has a fire title because it was a fire car. The guy installed the wide body kit onto the car, and I bought it like as a half project. Like it was in like, I'll send some pictures to you, but it's like in multiple colors, and I put everything back together bolt by bolt, box by box. So this thing has has some sentimental value to it.
Yeah, for sure. And this is like, I guess, one of the original R&D cars for this stuff, right?
Yep.
I think I've seen some videos of you making blasts in this thing when you were first testing it all and everything. I don't know, man. This thing boogies.
It goes. It's so light. It's like, and if I have the HGS drags on this, so the suspension's really soft. So when it feels like it's coming up off the ground, right?
It squats, bro. 100%. Yeah, this thing's definitely a lot more torquey than the 13B felt. Yeah. Honestly, this is like,
it comes on fast. Like the 6466 is like my favorite turbo for a street car. Like, within reason, you know.
I mean, dude, for this power level,
675 car would stomp on this, but this car would be up on power like an out quick.
For just like zipping around town and just having some fun.
Yes, like a stoplight car. This car is awesome.
This is it right here.
Yeah, I'm like in my element in this car. I feel like this is like my.
I feel right at home.
Yeah, this is usually my stress reliever car. Like I feel like after a long day of work, and I'll come over and take a drive in this, and I'll be like back to normal.
Things are all right.
Yeah. It's like a car guy antidepressant, basically.
Oh, 100%. This thing's got 63,000 miles.
Yep.
That's nice, dude. And this is like a flared fenders, like a little bit.
It's a burnout wide body kit, so it's a full fiberglass wide body kit.
Got it. Looks good.
The only downside to it, the guy that did the work, he molded it all in, so even the front bumper, there's no disconnect, so you can't take the front bumper off. So my biggest fear is like hitting a raccoon or something.
Yep.
And then what do I do? Like repaint the whole car, basically.
Exactly.
Powerful thing in the world, but man, it's a really fun car.
Dude, it's like the back end's just fucking doing a little dance, you know. But that's the thing though, with a street car, you don't want it to like feel like it's gonna kill you. You know, like this is like the perfect level. What size tire on it? It looks like a pretty wide tire in the back.
It's 285 18, I think.
Yeah, it hooks up. It grips up pretty good.
No, it does pretty good.
Yeah.
So this car, like on 85, when we put 85 in, it makes like 740, but if you would stomp on in second gear, it does the exact opposite of that. It just wants to go sideways on you.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, it's fun, like getting into it like that. But
like rolling third. At that point, you gotta like do third, fourth gear pulls and stuff.
Yeah. But like for stoplight to stoplight stuff, this on pump gas is a great car.
Oh yeah. All right, guys. So now that we had some fun with the street cars, now we're gonna get a little tour of Grannas Racing HQ. Let's get into it. Look at this. You got all the trophies. It's like some airbrush stuff.
Yeah, that's an artist from Spain, David Reyes, did that like a commission for me.
Got all the old pictures here. This is awesome, man.
The door, like I don't think I said anything about that door and why it's up there. So that door, the reason there's tape around it, it delaminated on the 710 pass, the one right before the 690 pass, the door skin came off. And we put that tape on there and we ran the 690 with the door tape like that.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
All right, brother. So let's get the grand tour.
All right, sounds good. Just want to go over each car?
Yeah, so we just rode in these bad boys here, so we know all about those.
So this is the 57 Chevy. This was my dad's car. So back in the 80s when I was growing up, I remember him taking me out and bagging gears in that. And that's kind of what built me, made me into the stick shift guy I am now.
See, that's so cool, man.
Factory, everything. I think it was repainted once, but still 4-speed car, still factory engine. Not fast.
Badass.
Not fast.
Not fast, but
it's fun.
It's meaningful.
It's cool, yes.
What is this thing? Tell me there's a 2J in there.
No, not yet. Not yet. It's a backdraft Cobra. Backdraft is like 45 minutes south of here. It's just a roller right now, so it has a 411 gear set up in it, ready to go for when I put the T56 and the T56 in it. Or, I mean the 2JZ and the T56 in it.
Yeah, this thing with a 2J would be so badass, bro.
Yeah, and there's a decent amount of room under the engine bay for it too. Like, I mean, I think it will fit in there. It'll be a little tight side to side, but front to back looks like lots of room.
Oh, tons of room. Dude, this is so cool.
They make another one of these that's really cool, and I kind of like, after I ordered this one, I kind of regretted not buying it, but it's like a it's like almost like a wide body one with like more aggressive look to it. It's really cool, but I always wanted like the OG one, I guess.
You got a couple Supras.
Yes. So the red car was originally going to be the race car, the Orange Man Bad. That was going to be it. I bought this thing for $12,500. That was a crazy deal.
What?
Like in 2016, I think. So that wasn't even that long ago.
For any Supra fanatic watching, $12,500 for one of these is like what you dream for.
Yeah, it's a factory manual car too. So it's not a TT, it's not a turbo car, but it's an NA 5-speed car. I mean, I saw it come up on Craigslist and I like basically quit my job. I mean, honestly, I really did. I quit my job and went and got this car. This was gonna be the race car, but now that it's not, like I have a picture with my little boy Eli, so I call this Eli's Supra. So I have pictures of him like each year with this car, and when he gets older, it's gonna hopefully become his and he can treat it with respect, hopefully. But
yeah, rebuild it.
We'll start out with like, you know, low power for him to learn.
For sure, dude.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll give you 13 for it.
All right.
That's awesome. This one looks a little spicy.
Yeah, so this is a 97 anniversary car, factory automatic car, TT car. I bought it just because it was a deal. One of my customers had it listed up for sale and he wanted to trade some parts plus cash, and I was like, I couldn't pass it up. So it's just been sitting here. Like, this is like project land, like Joel Grannas project land that I don't have time to do anything on. So I have all these cars and no time to work on them, but I just keep collecting and collecting. So I'm trying to get rid of a couple now, but this one, I don't know. I might sell it, I might not.
And here, is this the infamous white car?
This is the old race car. So this is the white car you all see in all the videos. Got really close to having it back and ready about 4 years ago for World Cup, but that was the same year, 5 years ago, I think, when we were first starting the orange car, and it was gonna be the first year for that at World Cup, and we just ran out of time. Like 3 weeks before World Cup, we just gave up on this. We had it like, the only thing left to do was like fuel system and some plumbing, and it was like ready to go, but we abandoned it, and ever since it's had this engine just sitting in here waiting for me to put some love into it. But eventually it'll come back to life as a street car. That's the goal, is to bring it back as a street car.
It would be so cool to see this thing run again. I mean, like, I think the entire TRC team, we always talk about like how we used to watch this car back in the day when you were first racing it, and like this was the car like that anybody would pull up on YouTube and just see it doing these crazy launches all over the track. This car means a lot to us and the team too. So
yeah.
can't wait to see this thing back up.
I thought a lot about bringing it back as like another like race car, but with like a more like street car like stick shift. So like diaphragm clutch and a synchro box, just like the way I used to drive it. And that's kind of what I would like to do, and maybe street it every once in a while. So that's kind of the mission for it.
And the quickest you ever went in this was what,
817 at 180, something like that. 179.
So I guess behind us here, behind you, is where the magic happens.
So this is the business side of things. This is the shipping room. So this is like where I box everything up to go out to the customer. Here you can see one of the GR700A transmission kits for a Supra. My packing list here for this guy. It's actually going to Australia. So the
nice.
Australia customer is going to get that shipped out tomorrow. This is my new product, the billet 9-inch rear. So you can see the Grannas Racing logo engraved into there. It's a beefy unit.
This is
so
wild.
Most of the time when you see these, they're like a fabricated octagon-looking case, and this one is made out of one solid chunk of billet aluminum. And it's got like the
this thing's ready for anything.
Yes, the DSS Pro level axle. So like this is like, honestly, this is the same setup I used to run in the orange car when it was IRS, but with the billet case instead. But that's like exactly what I would run.
We got some clutch stuff and the
McLeod clutch to go along with that.
bell housing.
The transmission kit. This area is like hardware, release bearing, clutch bearing, boxes, everything for shipping basically. And then this is all clutches. So I do a lot of the Tilton clutches and I do a lot of the McLeod clutches. You can see I still have some that I need to put back on the shelf yet. But I stock everything. I do 2J stuff from V160 to R154, CD09 even. And then I do Coyote stuff and LS stuff. So I keep all that stuff. Even for local guys that are like buying, like they're doing an LS swap and they want a trans kit, I'd have the LS bells, I have the LS clutches. So
Dude, that is
pretty much,
awesome.
Yeah, you can get whatever you want here.
That's awesome.
Right now I'm doing the sales, the tech support, the accounting, the answering the emails, packing the shipments, you know, doing the labels for the shipments.
Dude,
it's
that's
like
wild.
literally everything but the welding. I have a fab guy, John, who's my right-hand man here. He does all the fabrication work, so that takes that off my plate. I actually used to do that back in the day too. I used to do that as well.
That's wild.
It's too much now.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I used to take weld. This is like the main warehouse. So this is like where all the bell housings live. The 2J bell housings, the Honda K bells, the Honda F bells. Those are the 8.8 rear covers that I do, the rotary bells. 9-inch stuff, dart blocks. So I do the 2JZ dart blocks. Those are the ones wrapped in black plastic. I have 3 pallets of those actually. So I have those in stock if you need a dart block. And then Transland is over here. So all the transmissions, all the different Tremec varieties, I stock them all, the Magnum XL, the Magnum F, the regular Magnum, the TKX. So pretty much anything Tremec, I have it here. If you need a Tremec trans, I pretty much got it.
Transmission heaven.
Yes. And then this is
go.
like our work area for R&D. This is usually the R&D lift, and then this is usually the orange car lift. It's almost always on here.
I haven't seen this thing in a while.
Yes, it's been It's Texas since the last race, I think.
Yeah, man.
Or the reunion? I think it was the reunion. I was the last race. I was
Yeah,
at.
what's going on? What's going on with this? So you got the turbo kit off.
So you can
got
see
some
the
plans?
compound setup is all off the car because we're going to be making some changes. And I haven't really said this to anyone, but this will be the new release of that information, I guess. But we're going to go back to single turbo, nitrous setup. You can see here on the bottom of the intake manifold, I got a nice new direct port setup installed on there. So we'll be going back to the nitrous setup, and hopefully I can get the clutch tune-up working better this time. That was the problem with the nitrous setup last time, was it was very inconsistent, but that was like on a home-built nitrous setup. So now I have like a professionally done setup. So hopefully we can get it all working and get the bottom end with the nitrous and the top end power and just have a really consistent race car again.
So why the change? We'll plug some pictures here of the compound setup. The new one was pretty freaking wild, right?
Yeah.
And I know you had some success with it, but so why the change?
The compound setup worked amazing. Like it was like a V8 car when you left a line. It was super consistent, like bam, 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 like 120, 60 foot, one after the other. It was very consistent. It worked really well, but it had a restriction problem on the top end. And we could have made changes to make that not a restriction and made it work. But one of the other problems we ran into is we lost the small turbo at that last race. It was in an elimination round, so it didn't matter. But if we were in qualifying and we lost that turbo, I would be done for the event because I wouldn't be able to replace that turbo easily. Everything was customized to make that turbo work in compound form, so we had to weld V-bands onto it. So for us to do a quick swap out of a turbo at a race would be almost impossible without fabrication involved, or keeping a backup turbo with everything welded on it right there in the trailer, which is kind of a pain in the butt. So
serviceability.
Yeah, serviceability is a big deal with race cars like this and trying to go rounds. So we're going back to simple, and hopefully it works. I mean, honestly, the one reason we went to compound is we thought that the nitrous was causing me engine problems. I was having rod issues where I was wallowing out the small end, like the pin bore. I thought it was nitrous. I thought we were just hitting it with too much nitrous, too low in RPM. We tore the engine down after the compound setup, and the same problem was there. So it's not nitrous.
Wow.
So it didn't really solve what we wanted to solve anyway, but it was an awesome experiment, and it worked really well. But I just want to go back to the old setup where I know it worked really well and I had the top end power, and like I want to go like 225 now. Like I went 221, so now I want to go 225.
Heck yeah. So what's the quickest in the car so far?
669 at 221. So I mean, the mission's always been to get the record back, and I've been struggling here for like, the past 3 years, but that's the goal. Go back out there, get the record back. It's a tall order now with Nick Coleman's record, 649, I think, so.
Yeah, it might not seem like a lot, but from 669 to a 640, that's quite the journey.
Yes.
For sure. But dude, I appreciate you showing us this, man. I know you do a lot behind the scenes and everything, and glad we can give the people a little peek and a little teaser of what's to come. Hopefully FL2K and World Cup this year and all that. So, but I really appreciate the shop tour, man.
Yeah, man.
This has been a blast. Thank you so much for having us, man.
Yeah, man.
We really appreciate it.
Yeah, it's good to have you.
Thanks, dude.
I can't ever see myself not in the driver's seat of a race car. If I did, it would probably be after I passed the torch down to my boy and I'm standing next to him on the starting line. A lot of you have been familiar with my cars over the years, but I'm grateful I finally got to share the story behind me.